Here is Liverpool's likely Tottenham starting lineup. Tottenham Hotspur host Liverpool in the Premier League today. The Reds are 8 points behind the top 4 places ahead of the weekend, while the Spurs are 5 points behind league leaders Arsenal. Spurs, who beat Marseille 2-1 away on Tuesday and placed at the top of the Champions League Group D, are going to the Liverpool match on Sunday with great confidence. It was a pretty impressive performance as Tottenham beat Bournemouth 2-0 last weekend. This win allowed them to stay in the top 4 regardless of the result against Liverpool. But after failing to beat Liverpool in any of their last 10 games in all competitions, the Reds may have a psychological hurdle to overcome when they arrive in North London. While Liverpool have struggled big for consistency this season, Tuesday's 2-0 win against Napoli in the Champions League was further proof that they could mix with any team in their day. Jürgen Klopp's side are the only team to beat the leaders of Manchester City, Newcastle, and the Italian league so far this season, but they have been in a consecutive Premier League defeat against Nottingham Forest and Leeds United in recent weeks. Their 2-1 home loss to the Lily-Whites last weekend marked their first loss in front of a full-scale crowd at Anfield in the Premier League since April 2017, marking the end of Virgil van Dijk's proud home unbeaten record. While Liverpool's performances have been sporadic throughout the season, Klopp's side consistently creates chances. Darwin, Nunez and Roberto Firmino were found guilty of missing opportunities against Leeds. The German manager will demand more brutality from the offensive players at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on Sunday, as they absolutely cannot afford to fall 13 points behind the top 3 teams on the table. Tottenham took a massive hit at the Stade Velodrome in the middle of the week and Heung-min Son was removed from the game after suffering a broken eye socket in a first-half collision with Mbumba. The South Korean striker will not be able to play against Liverpool. For Liverpool, Luis Diaz, Diogo Jota, Arthur, Naby Keita and Joel Matip remain on the sidelines with long-term injuries. In the light of this information, Liverpool's possible starting 11 is as follows: Alisson in the goal, Alexander-Arnold in the right back, Konate and Van Dijk in the central defender tandem, Robertson in the left back, Henderson, Fabinho and Thiago in the midfield, Salah, Firmino and Nunez in the forward line. Liverpool could sign the next Premier League superstar for a bargain fee. Liverpool could sign Napoli striker Kvaratskhelia for as little as £86 million after an incredible start to life at European football's elite level. According to the player's manager, who spoke to Fabrizio Romano, the Georgian player will be worth £86.7 million by the time he leaves Napoli. The manager said, "You know what's crazy? He did what he's been doing in Russia and Europe for the last few years. He came to Naples, he was very smart and people are talking about £86.7 million. For me, if he continues to perform like this until the end of the season and next season, because they have a 0% chance of selling him in January, it will definitely reach £86.7 million. Jürgen Klopp was impressed by Kvaratskhelia, even as he knocked Napoli out on Tuesday evening with goals from Mohamed Salah and Darwin Nunez. Discussing the key battle between Trent Alexander-Arnold and Kvaratskhelia, the German manager said, "He's a good player. Both are good players. You have to try to be there the moment the ball comes in, but if you can't then you have to be protected because he has speed, he can go in and out. He's a good player and I think Trent played a really good game against him. But he's a really good kid and really fast. Once he has the advantage of the first move, then he's long gone. An incredibly technical player." Kvaratskhelia shone against Liverpool despite their strong defensive appearance. He was a regular dangerous player throughout the match for Napoli. What makes the 21-year-old so threatening is his magnetic melee control, acceleration, top speed and center of gravity. While dribbling, it reminds me of Lionel Messi from 2008 to 2010. It was essentially impossible to stop the Argentinian, but what made him so dangerous was his ability to score anything with his dribbling and finishing. That's what's missing from the modern game these days. Wingers are so loaded with instructions that their instincts sometimes seem restrained. Especially in the Premier League, players are held back by how much pressure there is to hold onto property so that they don't have to defend, so attackers often seem afraid to take risks. Kvaratskhelia is not like that. If it can maintain the levels it has reached this season, it has the potential to become world-class. He has 17 goals and 10 assists in 30 games for club and country this season. Almost 1 goal or assist per game. If the Georgian player continues like this, it wouldn't be surprising if Liverpool snatched him. Liverpool found their next Daniel Sturridge. Roberto Firmino's contract expires at the end of the season, and as injuries highlight the lack of depth behind Liverpool's first-choice offensive options at the moment, it is becoming increasingly clear that the club needs to strengthen their offensive options in January or summer. Losing Firmino would reduce Liverpool's top offensive options to just 4, leaving little depth in a chapter crucial to Jürgen Klopp's success at Anfield. For years, the Liverpool boss has relied on exciting attackers to provide ammunition up front and lead his team to victory. But the hard part for Julian Ward will be who to target. Given FSG's tight budget, it means Liverpool will not be able to target anyone, especially since the vast majority of the club's budget has to be spent on midfielders where additions are even more needed. The ideal target up front would be relatively young with a lower profile, affordable price and high ceiling potential. And when Liverpool hooked up with Folarin Balogun last season, they may have spotted the ideal target. The player, valued at just over £12 million by Transfermarkt, should be pretty affordable even with 2 years left on his contract after he decided to extend his contract with Arsenal, which expired over the summer. Given the fact that he has so many players ahead of him in his pecking order at the Emirates, convincing him to come to Anfield or sell Arsenal to a rival side is in a great form run with Balogun, one of the brightest jewels in League One right now. Even so, it should be relatively easy. Sent on loan to Stade Reims this season, Balogun has performed brilliantly since joining the club. He has scored 7 goals and recorded 2 assists in 13 games this season. This type of exit, combined with his explosive speed and smart move, make him an ideal target for Liverpool, especially given his 21-year-old relative youth. Balogun is a player reminiscent of Daniel Sturridge in his early days, and just as he was underestimated at Chelsea, Liverpool could repeat the transfer and capitalise on the fact that Balogun is currently worthless at Arsenal. There is a desire to rekindle the club's interest, and it is reported that Julian Ward will do anything to attract Balogun to Anfield. Embodying Liverpool's interest will be an exciting proposition for the player. It is very pleasing to receive an offer from a team that is only 21 years old and playing at the top. Klopp needs to strengthen the offensive line, and he definitely needs a different profile. Especially in the summer months, Origi was replaced by no one with the same profile, and in some matches, it is clearly felt that there is no one who will be included in the game later and exhibit these features. Balogun could replicate the impact Origi made at Liverpool and become an option to strengthen Klopp's hand. Moreover, his young age and openness to development is another option that makes him suitable for the Reds' transfer policy. Balogun may stay at Liverpool for many years and perhaps become a new face trying to replace the deadly trio.